Hey guys, it's Dustin Maher and I'm back home in Minnesota, Elk River, Minnesota. I haven't been home for a while. It's been
5 months.
5 months now, and I've got my mom here, and this is our first cooking show together. I've got my dad filming, so it's a family affair here. So Mom, what are we going to be making today?
It's called Smoky Black Bean Pumpkin Soup.
So obviously it's going to have pumpkin in it, obviously it's going to have black beans. Those are both great. They're very high in fiber, so they'll help you fill you up, clean you out, all that good stuff. Any other comments with that?
Yeah, it's got the onions and the olive, the
Oils.
The oils. We're going to use coconut oil, and we're going to make Tracy proud of us, getting our coconut in. Anyway, got a lot of good stuff here we'll be sharing.
So one of the things that we have to do is cut the onions. Now I know for myself and probably a lot of you guys out there, you get a little emotional cutting onions. So I've come up with a solution for this, and my mom has a solution too. You guys can be the judge what's better. So I'm going to start cutting the onions up, and using swimmer goggles are the best way that I found, because they have a very good seal. Make sure they're nice and tight. Alright, we got that, and I'm going to start cutting it. Mom, what do you like to do?
I use the good old-fashioned, this is probably a wives' tale, but I like to stick a couple matches in my mouth. And whether it's because the onions are sweet and they aren't as aromatic, or whether it actually works, I don't know, but I use them and I like them.
Alright, so you're going to try that. These onions are pretty strong.
Yeah.
I tested them out before, but now I can't even tell because nothing can get in my eyes. And as we're doing this too, I just want to say one thing. You know, I've worked with, I guess, well over 5,000 moms now, and the most unhealthy ones, the ones that are not very, I guess, good at cooking or good at knowing what to make, are the ones that the moms kicked out of the kitchen when they were young. And I'm very thankful my mom was not like that. I mean, I would have to make some of the meals for the family. I'd have to go grocery shopping with you. So I don't always cook tons. I'm kind of cook like a bachelor, I guess, but I can cook, you know, very well if I want to. I can follow recipes, and I'm not intimidated of the kitchen at all. So if you guys have young kids out there, I know it's very inefficient, frustrating to have them around the kitchen, but don't kick them out. Let them do their thing, and it'll pay off long term when they become adults. So I'm going to continue cutting.
I was just going to say, what was really fun was when we make something like vegetable soup. I'd have a job for each kid, and they each had to cut one of the vegetables up or get them ready or whatever, or pizza, homemade pizza. You'd each have a, and they would, I think we'd draw straws, or whoever got to pick first and pick the, you know, of course the easiest one they'd pick, but it worked good, and you know, they had their usual bickering and stuff there, but they learned, and it was fun. Yeah. I miss those days. Yeah,
absolutely. So I'm going to keep cutting the onions. Mom, what are you going to do?
Okay, I am going to puree. It says to put, there, hang on here. It says to puree the beans and the tomatoes with half of the chicken broth in a blender. So I've got the blender here. I'm going to throw my matches away. I'm getting away from the onions. And we've got the beans already pre-measured here. We're trying to use organic if we can. We got Full Circle organic beans. Oh, I guess we shouldn't use name brand stuff there. And we got the tomatoes. We just have some these are organic Trader Joe's diced in tomato juice. So I'm going to dump them all in the blender, and I guess we're going to make a little noise here.
So we're not giving you guys exact measurements because on the website we will write down the recipe that we have for you, and we actually got this recipe from another source, which we'll get into. So you can go back to focusing on my mom. We've got a lot of beans in there.
We doubled the recipe.
Yeah, we're doubling this recipe so I can bring some home to Madison so I can eat a little bit later.
I don't know if this is going to go in here or not.
This will be exciting. We may overflow the blender.
Oh, we'll try it. How are we doing there, Dad?
Doing fine. You guys are doing all the work.
Yeah, you'll get to try it later on. Okay, let's see what we can do here. See if we can get enough liquid down in there to make it work. This is totally unrehearsed, so
Rachel Ray will be nervous after this.
Oops, my plug is not even. Yeah, we could have been a little more prepared here. At least had the blender plug. Got my magic bullet here beside here, though we use that every day.
Okay, so as my mom was working on that,
Let's see, you'll be over here.
I'll be over here. Now that I'm done cutting these onions, I think I can take my goggles off. And those worked amazing. Didn't bother me at all. So what we're going to do now, this half back, it calls for olive oil, but we're going to be using coconut oil. Sorry.
We'll just dump a little bit in here.
And Mom, why do we use coconut oil?
Oh, just because Tracy said so.
No,
No,
one of the big,
yeah, go ahead.
one of the biggest reasons is when you cook it, coconut oil burns at a much higher temperature, so it's less likely to burn than olive oil. Olive oil is awesome to use in salads when it's not being heated up, but when it is being heated up, use the coconut oil.
And don't heat it too high. They say it's a high smoke, but
Yeah, you can still burn it.
yeah, you can still burn it. So I like to turn it down to about half mast here, medium.
So what I'm doing is I'm putting my onion that I cut in here, and I also cut up about 6 or 7 minced garlics. So I put those in there too. So we're going to, you're just going to heat that up?
Yeah.
And I'm going to saute this. We'll come back to you guys in a couple of minutes with the finished product.
Okay, I'm going to start off by telling you I forgot to add the broth. When I did the blender, that would have blended up a lot easier. You're supposed to add half the broth to the blender when you mix all that stuff. And we didn't mention that they want you to rinse, drain the beans out of the sauce and then rinse them out good. And then that's what we had done already there.
Okay, so the onions and garlics, or cloves of garlic, are in here. So now they're all sauteed and nice and soft. We're going to be putting some ground cumin in. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Cumin?
Cumin.
2 to 3 teaspoons.
So 2 to 3 teaspoons. If you guys know the conversion to tablespoons, we're doubling this recipe, so 4 to 6. 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon, if you did not know that.
You might want to open that lid all again.
Yeah.
It'll take you forever to...
And rule of thumb is you never measure over your cooking, but I'm breaking that rule. So
He's pretty good. I didn't know I taught him that.
you taught me that one, because we probably had some issues throughout the years. Okay, so we got that.
Although we'll need another one because it's doubled.
Yeah, I'll do about 1.5 maybe.
Okay.
And then paprika, how much should I?
2 to 3, so we'll add, let's do 4 teaspoons.
4 teaspoons, so just a little bit over a tablespoon.
Christopher might get some of this too tomorrow.
Get it for the whole family.
Maybe send some back for Eric.
That's good.
Okay. Okay, then also they want you to add smoked black pepper, half teaspoon, and then some chipotle pepper, but Mama here is a wimp, so I'm not letting him put any of that hot stuff in. We'll put the shakers on the table when we serve it, and they can spike it up to their heart's content.
Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm stirring this around for about a minute. And what are you going to be putting in?
Okay, I'm going to put the pumpkin in. The next step to adding to the bean and the tomato mixture is they want you to add the pumpkin and the rest of the broth, and they said some sherry, cooking sherry, but I think I'm going to skip that. So we'll put this is double batch, so I'm putting a 28-ounce can here of our organic pumpkin. Again, just, with the business about organic, everybody said you do what you can, the best you can, what you can afford, and what you can find easily, but, that's why we pray over our food. It's not going to be all just perfect.
Okay, so we put that in there.
You can stir a while.
We're going to mix that around. And what are we going to be doing after this, Mom?
We're going to, it'll thicken as it cooks for about 15 minutes or so, and we're going to cook it for a while, and then we're going to shut down and
then we'll try it. So give us a few minutes here, and I'll see you guys for the final tasting. Okay, so it's been simmering for about 15-20 minutes, and it's really got thick now. So
yeah,
all we gotta do is taste it. So let's try this.
And we've already added some salt to it, but you can of course adjust that to your personal preference. What do you think we got going there? Think Dad'll eat it?
Yeah, it tastes very good. It's got a good bean taste to it, a little pumpkin.
Of course, you can add your hot stuff and
make
it as unedible as you care to. And like we said, we've got the
sherry.
No, this is
the vinegar.
The vinegar, balsamic vinegar. I have 2 different kinds here, and that's the regular balsamic. This is honey balsamic. It's actually made out of honey. But anyway, we kind of decided that it was tangy enough with the tomatoes and the pumpkin, but feel free to experiment with that. And